I'm doing your monthly forecast a little bit different this month. I'm off camera because I've been under the weather for a while, and actually these videos are extremely late, which I apologize for, but I had some Mercury retrograde technical difficulties, of course. Mercury retrograde is in my third house of communication and electronic devices, so when I recorded these videos previously, they recorded it with no audio, so I had to go back and redo everything. So once again, I apologize for the delay in these. And once again, don't forget to look at the videos for every sign of yours, your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And also, I'm still having a sale through the end of December on all of my readings. Go to my website, which is indigomoon.astrology.com, and there's also a link below to that website, and there should be one on the little I button up above as well, to where you can go order a discounted reading. That's only a temporary discounted price, like I said, through the end of December. And in January, my rates will go up, so take advantage of that sale now, especially if you would like to buy a gift for a loved one, the gift of a reading of their astrology chart. It makes an excellent gift. And also, if you would like a 2017 personal forecast for yourself, those are selling right now too, as well as a 6-month forecast for the first 6 months of 2017. So once again, go to my website, indigomoonastrology.com, and stay tuned for your December 2016 forecast. Hello, Gemini. This is your forecast for this month using my lovely little board once again. But this time around, I have a clearer camera and some lighting, so hopefully it's a lot better to see this month. Once again, I apologize for the delay, and I'm under the weather, so my voice sounds a little manly, so forgive me for that. But let's get started with showing you guys physically what's going on for you during the month of December. So first of all, we're starting with Mercury. Mercury, the planet of communication, your ruling planet, your buddy here. He moved into the sign of Capricorn on the 3rd, okay? And Capricorn is your 8th house, Gemini. So, since this is your ruling planet, honey, wherever it moves, that is something that you're going to be feeling a whole bunch more than the average person, okay? So, then moving into your 8th house, the 8th house is all about depth and death, but depth, D-E-P-T-H. So having a lot of deep thoughts, which Geminis, you guys generally speaking about the energy of Gemini, don't really have a lot of deep thoughts all the time, okay? You guys like to keep things light. You guys like to keep things moving. You don't like to dwell on things in your mind. But with Mercury moving there, just being honest, you guys may be thinking about a lot of deep stuff, especially deep relationship stuff. Especially deep relationship stuff from the past, okay? Because Mercury will be in shadow this whole month. Well, not shadow this whole month. It'll be in its retrograde process this whole month. That means it'll be in shadow up until the 19th. Then on the 19th, it moves retrograde. And then throughout the rest of December and into January, it'll be in shadow period. So what that means is going back over things. And this is the house of intimacy, intimate partners that you've had a soul bond with. So if you ever had that, you may be thinking about them, or they may be thinking about you, because this is a very intuitive energy too in this house, okay? So you're going to be highly intuitive this month. And hey, not only will old past intimate partners come back to you in memory, they may actually come back to you and like try to contact you, hit you up on social media, try to come knocking at your door. I don't know, do people still do that, come to people's doors? Or do they just text or call, or not even call? But some people actually might call you, might text you, might show up at your door. Yo, Gemini, what's going on? I miss you. You remember what we used to have back in the day? They may pop up during this time this month, so just a fair warning. But also this can be talks about taxes and insurance and finances with a partner or with a business partner, or just on your own. You may be thinking about and rearranging some stuff in that area of life. So on the 8th, Venus, the planet of relationships and love and beauty and enjoyment of life as a physical being in the physical world, she moves into Aquarius, which for you guys is your 9th house. And this is a fellow air sign. So it's complementary to Geminis, okay? Because you guys are an air sign. So you guys will feel totally within your element as far as how you're enjoying life this month. Venus will be there the whole month in Aquarius. Aquarius energy is very quirky and fun, which you guys really love and appreciate. In your ninth house of traveling and of experiencing the world on a different level rather than just being trapped in a bubble, going to your regular day-to-day places, you're going to the grocery store, you're going to the bank. No, the ninth house is actually going outside of your city, your country, your state, whatever, wherever you live. So you may be feeling a little more adventurous this month, Gemini. I've seen some of my Gemini rising friends and family either have an urge to travel or like go traveling, even if it's just like somewhere outside your city to another city within your state. Like I know a Gemini rising that went snowboarding up north and they had a blast. So that's just one example of how you could be enjoying yourself. But if you're open to relationships and love and all of that jazz, Venus being in your ninth house means you can meet love while you're being adventurous and you're out there enjoying activities like hiking and all that stuff. Or, yeah, while you're traveling. Or if you can meet somebody that's foreign, because this is a foreign this is the energy of foreign people, which is the ninth house. So maybe meet somebody foreign, or they don't even have to be from another country. It could be somebody that's like a different nationality, a different religion, different background than you. And Geminis, you guys love variety and different stuff. So this is the time where you can enjoy dating in that type of way. Now, on the 14th, we have a full moon in your sign. So let's get her straightened out here. Okay. All right, work, moon. Okay, autofocus. Hello. Okay. Anyway, we have a full moon in your sign. I got to work on this autofocus thing. But it's in Gemini. And for you guys, this is your first house. Now, the full moon is when the sun and moon are in opposite signs. And they bring things to a breaking point, pretty much. There's always like an I can't take this ish anymore moment that happens that makes a great change just pop up. Or you may decide to walk out or stomp out on something, or just, you know what, that's it. I'm making a change right now for the better. Okay, I'm getting rid of something out of my life. That's what happens during the full moon. So the moon will be here in Gemini in your sign. And then the sun will be in Sagittarius, which is your opposite sign. So it'll be here in your seventh house of relationships, one-on-one with others. So for my Geminis, you guys have actually been going through some serious changes and stuff since the end of 2015 in regards to relationships, because Saturn's hanging out here in your sign. And actually on the 10th, 11th of December, the sun and Saturn were together in the same sign. And actually with this full moon, the sun and Saturn will still be in a conjunction with one another. They won't be exact, but they won't be too far away from one another. So that means it's leaving an imprint on this full moon as well that'll last for up to a couple weeks or a month or whatever. So whatever breakthrough that happens, Saturn will make sure that you understand completely what you're doing, okay? Because your Gemini energy, you guys can be a little bit all over the place, a little bit scattered, just being honest. You don't always know exactly what you want, or you want different things at different times, depending on your mood and which way the wind blows. Saturn's going to be like, no. What do you really want here, okay? So when it comes to relationships, you may get checked on some stuff, Gemini. You may get checked and asked, like, what do you really want? Do you want to be with this person on a serious level, or do you want to bounce around and still have your fun and be adventurous and go all over the place with different people? Or do you want to stick with one person? Or you may be asking another person this question. Maybe you really want to be with somebody on a solid, serious level, one-on-one, but they're bouncing around all over the place. I mean, this is Sag energy. Like, you guys attract Sagittariuses. And just being honest about the general energy of Sag, it can be pretty flighty and love its freedom and be very open to just bouncing around all over the world, having like, you know what, in different area codes, okay? So you may be wanting to solidify a relationship and they're like, I don't know. But then you're going to be like, look, man, you need to tell me what the you want, okay? Or it can be that in a relationship, you come to a decision with a partner to make things official and to maybe get engaged, get married, all that official stuff, or just come to an agreement that, look, I like you, you like me, like, come on now, let's just be exclusive, okay? So that is the full moon on the 14th. It's going to be super significant for you guys because it's in your sign. And it doesn't always have to do with relationships. It can just mean you versus other people. Maybe something that you really want to do in your life in general, other people may not agree with. So you just say, F it, I'm going to do what I want. I'm a Gemini, whatever, I do what I want. And you make that decision to change your life for the better. Now on the 20th, we have Mars moving from Aquarius in your fun ninth house into Pisces, which is your 10th house of career, of being a boss, of being serious about charging full speed ahead towards your position in life of authority or whatever. Actually, I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna put it down here. Okay. Your position in life, in the world, position of authority, what you want to do to make your mark in this world, that is your 10th house. So look at all this other activity you got going there. There's Neptune, there's Chiron, and there's the South Node. Those are all longer term influences, which I'm not going to go through in this horoscope. We're only talking about the short term. But Mars is joining all of that energy. You guys have had so much going on with career for several years. Maybe changes and breakthroughs and like confusion could have been happening, and maybe letting go of a career that you really wanted, but then you had to change your mind. You had to change your course. I have seen some Geminis. I have a couple Gemini risings very close to me, and there has been confusion with all that stuff with career and where do I stand and who am I, how would I define myself and all that stuff. Am I married? Am I divorced? Am I in this profession or another profession? Several years of that stuff. And you guys do have several more years in that area of life. But Mars here, short-term transit, is going to help you to take action and initiative towards achieving what you want to achieve within career and within the world in general. So I will warn you, even though Mars in Pisces, Pisces is the energy of the lover and not the fighter. He's like sensitive Michael Jackson, right? And Pisces is an energy of dissolvement. And then if Mars is movement and action and all that stuff, just in general, Mars and Pisces, like it's not about taking initiative. It's kind of about like just letting people be and just floating there like a hippie. I love everybody. I'm just going to let everybody be. I just want to be. I don't want the constraints of time to bother me. I don't want none of that stuff. I just want to just be and just float. So it can cause a little bit more confusion, but actually Mars, since it's action, it can break through the fog a little bit for you guys and make you want to take charge in your life, somewhere in your life. I will warn you that if you're not in a position of authority, like you're not a drill sergeant or a boss, you may feel like acting like one when Mars is here in your 10th house. So just be mindful of that, or it can cause clashes with authority figures because you don't want to be bossed around, or they may just you may just be giving off a vibe to them that's aggressive, underneath the surface, and they're just going to come at you and charge you and challenge you. So just be very, very careful with that this month, Gemini. But all in all, Mars in the 10th, excellent time to get some goals accomplished within career. Now, on the 21st, the sun moves from Sagittarius in your 7th house of relationships into Capricorn in your 8th house of taxes and insurance and joint income that you share with another person, and also intimacy. So it may be that, the full moon may have brought about like some sort of decision within your relationships to solidify it, okay, to come to a decision to have a commitment with somebody, and now's the time where you get more intimate with them. You get to know them on a real level, like not surface level, but I mean like underneath the surface. What's really in their heart, what's really in their soul. And with Mercury there, Mercury may have you asking a lot of deep questions to this partner if that applies to you. Now, Sun and Mercury in the 8th, it can be a little bit of a darker energy, just being honest, Gemini. So, just be mindful, you may feel a little darker this month, a little more serious overall in life, but you've got lighthearted Aquarius, Venus there to kind of help you. So if you feel like murky darkness is taking over your life, just try to get out and have some fun doing some different stuff. Try some new foreign restaurant or event, celebration, something. Travel somewhere, do something to break out of that darkness of that eighth house. Now, on the there's a couple of aspects that are affecting everybody, so I'm gonna let you guys know, Gemini, how it affects you directly. On the 25th, we have Uranus and Saturn are trine. So Uranus is here in Aries in your 11th house of friends and groups and like-minded peoples, and Saturn and Sagittarius in your 7th house of relationships, making a positive aspect. It's like bing, you know, they're conversing with one another, they're agreeing with one another, bringing something positive to you. So maybe some breakthrough happens that is brought about by a friend or a group that you belong to, and it affects, you know, maybe solidifying like some sort of deal or partnership. Once again, because Mercury is retrograde, be careful of contracts and stuff. If you are a social networking internet Gemini, this can be a good time for you as far as like a brand deal, or, you know, just some sort of deal can happen. Negotiation brought about by the internet or by a group or social media or something. So that's good for you guys. And then on the 27th, we have Jupiter in Libra down here in your 5th house of romantic activities, romance and fun and creative hobbies and stuff like that. Opposing Uranus in your 11th house of social media and networks and groups of friends and like-minded people. So an opposition can bring like tension and challenges, but it can bring a tension that brings about a breakthrough, especially because Uranus is that crazy, like, zany energy that like zaps you with static electricity when things are redundant and when things are like stagnant and too slow. He shakes things up for you. So if you are a Gemini that's creative and in some creative type of field, this can bring about a positive change for you. This is also romantic relationships, so something with romance and friends is like popping off for Geminis this month, so just keep that in mind. Then on the 29th, Uranus goes direct. He's been retrograde for a while, and now his energy is going to be even more super powerful after the 29th when he's moving forward. And maybe then you can move forward with anything that was brought about in your 5th house and 7th house. Relationships, romance, partnerships and negotiations, and creative projects and having your own business. Popping off for you guys this month. Last but not least, we have a new moon happening in Capricorn in your 8th house on the 29th as well. So new moon in the 8th house, that can mean a new beginning with an intimate partnership. You know, and that can mean a new beginning with how you earn money with other people, how you manage money with other people. So that is that. And then the last thing I want to talk about, very last thing, is Mars in Pisces conjunct Neptune on the 31st, which is New Year's Eve. Listen, Gemini, okay, and this is in your 10th house. Don't do anything dumb, especially under the influence, which Pisces rules, being under the influence of substances and alcohol and doing things that are like way like, oh, I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't realize, you know. Be careful of that, because somebody could put it out there like on social media, or it can affect your public persona in some sort of way and your reputation, because this is the house of the rep. Okay, your rep can get a negative hit to it if you, when Mars is conjunct Neptune, are like running around naked while you're drunk, or like you never really get high, but you get high that day, and then something can happen that's like really stupid. Just in general, Mars and Neptune together on the 31st, a lot of people are going to be acting like really like out of control, like stupid, like I said, like doing things that are under the influence or acting like they are. Okay, so just for your own safety in general, just be mindful of that and be careful, and just do something low key. Or if you don't do something low key, don't do anything to publicly embarrass yourself or other people. Okay? Well, thank you for your patience, Gemini. That's your horoscope for December, and I hope it's a great month for you guys.